Hi, I'm John Demang. I'm a professor here at the Open University and the director of the Knowledge Media Institute, a corporate R&D lab at the OU. So let me briefly explain what a blockchain is, which is causing a lot of excitement in the finance industry and beyond. Blockchain is a public ledger. It's an immutable record which cannot be changed even by the authors of the transactions. When you use any web system today, which you may access through your smartphone or through your tablet, you're accessing a central database owned by a single organization or company. In contrast, blockchains are a peer-to-peer system. So every full player gets a node where they have a copy of all of the transactions. So it's this which facilitates trust in the transactions on the blockchains, and they can act like a global center of truth for financial records or for provenance, etc. On top of this immutable public ledger, there are smart contracts. So smart contracts are computer code which can represent legal and financial transactions. So let me tell you a couple of the exciting things that we're working on here at the OU in deploying blockchains in the educational sphere. So the first thing that we did is we looked at badges. So badges are a form of micro-accreditation which can be given for learning, which can occur anywhere. The OU owns the OpenLearn website, where we have over 800 hours of freely available learning material. Some of these courses are badged. So the students can take the courses for free and then they get a badge at the end. We've taken those badges, which are encoded using an Open Badges global standard, and converted them into smart contracts. So then those smart contracts appear on the blockchain. Now within the smart contract, we can represent a lot of extra meta information. Besides the student, we can encode which was the institution, the individual institution that gave the particular micro-accreditation. We can encode who the individual tutors were, who the external examiners were, the criteria under which the award was given, and evidence. Now, tying to evidence leads me to a second set of experiments we're doing where we can place the actual student work on the blockchain. So we can take their essays or other artifacts that they have and place them on the blockchain alongside feedback, which could include peer feedback, feedback from their tutors, or formal feedback. So with these two forms, we're also moving on to other forms of micro-accreditation. So talking to a number of companies who've been thinking about learning in a corporate setting. So often with corporate training, workers go away for 1 or 2 days on a training course, and then that learning is never applied in the workplace. So we've been thinking, well, how can we improve in this situation? So one way is to have the accreditation for the learning actually happen in the workplace itself. So we've built applications where workers get tokens, say 100 tokens every quarter, and then they spend those tokens on each other. And then those tokens, which may be given for particular soft skills, such as collaboration skills or leadership skills, are automatically turned through smart contracts into badges. One of the great advantages of blockchains occurs when you have not one individual player involved, but many, many stakeholders who do not necessarily all trust each other. So we've been thinking about context where blockchains can facilitate collaboration across many institutions. So to support this, we're setting up a UK-wide blockchain and an international blockchain. So here we see scenarios where in the future, all student accreditation, micro-accreditation certificates and work will appear on a single platform, facilitating students to transfer between organizations, allowing employers to see the individual work and the micro-accreditation that students may have accumulated, that they make them as they're made available. In the further future, we see a world where blockchain support an Uber-style universities, where individuals can say, okay, I'm now a university of one, and students can come to me for learning, I can author materials, and then the reputation and the finances all flow through a blockchain. So we see many benefits in applying blockchain technology in the higher educational sphere. The first is one gets identity management for free. So it's very easy to check who is conducting a particular transaction because everything is digitally signed through a combination of private and public keys. A second benefit is that all the data in principle can be owned and controlled by the students rather than an individual institution. Again, that helps students in their lifelong learning journey as they move from provider to provider, some of which may be universities, some of which may be MOOC companies, and they accumulate different accreditation as they go along. Because everything is in the public ledger, transparency is increased. So every single transaction, every evidence of activities is there for the public to see. So, and that allows, that increased transparency reduces the risk of fraud. So if students are somehow accumulating credits in a way that's not proper, or if institutions are giving out credits without due process, that's easier to detect. One of the biggest benefits for blockchains in all application areas is a dramatic reduction in the cost of processes. So process cost is lowered. So this allows smaller institutions to enter the area. In the extreme, one can imagine a university of one. So individuals can say, I am now a university, I'm now offering courses. And then the transfer of finances and of reputation, if students like the tutors or if they like the materials, can flow through the public ledger that is the blockchain. Because everything is in a public ledger, this facilitates collaboration and interoperability because everything is accessible by all. And again, through that, disaggregation and disintermediation facilitated. The blockchains are very good at removing the middle parts of processes. So as I said earlier, you can have a direct connection between tutors and students and course authors and students for payments. There's a website called BitNation, where the authors claim you can set up your own country, you can create your own currency, you can have your own governance rules facilitated through the blockchain, and these can be all transparent. So one could think about setting up educational countries where you can have a transfer between your own financial, your own currency, and micro-accreditation, your own governance mechanisms and rules for facilitating and paying for learning services.